What's going on, guys? I'm Steve. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back to another video. If it's your first time stopping by the channel, hit that subscribe button. Trust me, you won't regret it. If you're a returning subscriber, as always, guys, welcome back, and I do appreciate support. Guys, as of lately, like a lot of other content creators, we've been talking about the Sandra Massey killing when she was killed by a police officer, Sean Grayson, out there in Sangamon County in Illinois, Springfield, Illinois. Now, I'm going to tell you something. A lot has been said, and a lot of people are focusing on what's going on. But today, you know, instead of focusing on how heinous the crime was committed against Sandra Massey, I want to focus on Sean Grayson. Now, one of my subscribers, Justice the Truth, shout out, they sent me a CNN article from Newsbreak. And I wanted to read it to you guys because it has a lot of stuff. And it goes a little bit in detail in what type of person this guy was and what type of mental capacity he has. And it goes on to prove, like what a lot of us said. This guy, should not have been an officer in Sangamon County as a sheriff deputy or anywhere else. This guy should not be in law enforcement or anything having to do with responsibility over someone else's life or making a judgment call of who goes to jail and who doesn't. And I think that's one of the main reasons why his dumb behind is sitting where he's sitting. Let me read you this article and we'll be right back. All right, guys, this article by CNN reads as follows. This is the title. It says, "Deputy who killed Sandra Massey was removed from the Army, had DUIs, and needed high-stress decision classes, records show." Years before Sheriff Deputy Sean Grayson gunned down Sandra Massey in her own home, he had been discharged from the Army for serious misconduct and had a history of driving under the influence, record shows. He also failed to obey a command while working for another sheriff's office in Illinois and was told he needed high-stress decision-making classes. The agency's documents revealed Grayson, who was a Sangamon County Sheriff's deputy before he was fired and charged with murder, responded to a report of a prowler at Massey's house July 6. Body cam footage from another deputy showed Massey saying she rebuked Grayson, and Grayson responded by threatening the 36-year-old. The exchange ended with Grayson shooting Massey and failing to render aid. Massey's death stirred memories of other black women who have been killed by police in their homes in recent years, including Breonna Taylor and Tatiana Jefferson. Massey's autopsy report, which was publicly released Friday, says she was killed by a gunshot wound to her head. Her family's attorney emphasized the angle in which the deputy shot Massey. Massey was shot beneath her eye and the bullet exited at the back of her neck under her ear. Civil rights attorney Ben Crump told CNN, "What it tells us is he shot her from a downward trajectory." When asked for comment Friday, Grayson's attorney Daniel Foltz told CNN, "I do not wish to comment." Grayson, 30, was indicted by a grand jury last week on 3 counts of first-degree murder and 1 count of aggravated battery with a firearm and official misconduct. He has pleaded not guilty and was denied pretrial release, according to court records. As more details emerge about Grayson's DUIs and previously documented incidents from the military and law enforcement, Massey's family members are tormented. They have one nagging question. Their attorney Ben Crump said, "Why was he even a sheriff on the sheriff's department in the first place?" And now, guys, it goes down here and it starts to talk about his time in the Army, and it reads as follows. The Army discharged him after a serious offense, personnel files say. Grayson previously served in the U.S. Army, but was discharged due to misconduct, a serious offense, according to the Department of Defense document included in Grayson's personnel file during his time at the Kincaid Police Department in Illinois. The personnel file was obtained by CNN affiliate KSHB. The document says Grayson was separated from the Army under a general discharge after he served as a private first class at Fort Riley, Kansas. The file did not detail the alleged misconduct. CNN asked the Army for more details in response. Army spokesman Bryce DUIs wrote, Sean P. Grayson was a 91B wheeled vehicle mechanic in the regular Army from May 2014 to February 2016. He had no deployments and left the Army with the rank of private first class. Grayson was on the Kincaid Police Force for only 3 months before he was let go because he refused to live within a 10-mile radius, KSBH reports. Now, it goes into his DUIs and him working at other law enforcement agencies. So check this out. It says Grayson pleaded guilty to 2 DUIs before working at law enforcement agencies. Court records show Grayson was charged with 2 DUI misdemeanor offenses in Illinois in Macoupin County, one in 2015, the other in 2016. The first incident occurred August 2015. Grayson's vehicle was impounded after he was charged with driving under the influence. He pleaded guilty and paid more than $1,320 in fines, according to court records. In July 2016, Grayson was charged with another DUI. He pleaded guilty and paid more than $2,400 in fines, court record shows. Grayson acknowledged his DUIs when he applied to be an officer at Auburn Police Department in Illinois in 2021. He worked there from 2021 to May 2022. And CNN's review of Grayson's records there did not reveal any major problems or disciplinary issues. In May 2022, Grayson started working at the Logan County Sheriff's Office in Illinois, records show. He wrote the sheriff a brief letter detailing his terrible decision to drink and drive. Grayson's letter also said he lost his driving privileges for 1 year after pleading guilty to his second DUI in 2016. Now it goes on to the next article where it says he needed to take high-stress decision-making classes one agency recommended. It says Grayson worked at 6 Illinois law enforcement agencies since 2020, records show. He started working part-time with Pawnee Police in August 2020, followed by the Kincaid and Verdun police departments. Then he started working full-time with Auburn Police, the Logan County Sheriff's Office, and finally the Sangamon County Sheriff's Office in May of 2023. A review of his employment records from the Auburn Police Department indicates why Grayson said he left previous positions. In some cases, I want you guys to listen to this. In some cases, he wanted to work full-time, but could only get part-time hours. In another case, he said he didn't want to move. While Grayson did not appear to have any disciplinary issues while he was an Auburn police officer, records from Logan's County Sheriff's Office said he needed to take high-stress decision-making classes. The recommendation came after Grayson failed to slow down after his boss called off a vehicle pursuit. Grayson was driving at about 110 miles an hour before striking a deer, the records say. Deputy Grayson pursued the truck through Lincoln at a high rate of speed, reaching speeds of 63 in the 30-mile-an-hour zone, and in my opinion, failed to show due caution while driving through stop intersections. A Logan County chief deputy wrote in a file. Grayson's supervisor terminated the pursuit. Grayson turned off his emergency lights, the report says, but Grayson continued at a high rate of speed, 110 miles an hour in a 55-mile-an-hour zone prior to striking a deer. Deputy Grayson acknowledged he lacks experience. The report said It also listed a series of recommendations, including additional traffic stop training, report writing training, high stress decision making classes, and needs to read. It said it just like that. He needs to read. Also, he needs to understand and discuss issued Logan County Sheriff's Office policy. It was not immediately clear if Grayson followed through with those recommendations. He resigned from the Logan County Sheriff's Office in April of 2023. The next month, he joined the Sheriff's Office at Sangamon County, where he would later have the fatal encounter with Massey. Sangamon County Sheriff Jack Campbell fired Grayson after Massey's death. Sonia Massey lost her life due to an unjustified and reckless decision by former Deputy Sean Grayson. Campbell said in a statement Monday, Grayson had other options available that he should have used. His actions were inexcusable and do not reflect the values of our training at this office. Now, this goes into what the family was saying, especially the son. It said he had no regard for my mom. Massey's 17-year-old son, Malachi, must now live the rest of his life without his mother. He said his mother was a ball of energy who always reminded him to read his Bible. She's the person who taught me how to love, Malachi told CNN. The teen said he's so grief-stricken by his mother's death that he can't describe the pain. I really don't have words, he said. I feel sick. Body cam footage from the night of his mother's death initially showed a calm encounter between Massey, Grayson, and another deputy. When the deputies were inside the home speaking with Massey, they noted a pot of boiling water on a lit stove. Massey got up and went to the kitchen to turn off the heat and take the pot off the stove. We don't need a fire while we're in here, one deputy said. When Massey picked up the pot, the other deputy stepped back away from your hot pot, steaming water, he said. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, Massey replied. Huh? The deputy responded. I rebuke you in the name of Jesus, Massey said. You better effing not, Grayson replied, or I swear to God I will shoot you in the effing face. Grayson then drew his gun and pointed at Massey. She ducked and said, I'm sorry, while lifting the pot, the video shows. Drop the effing pot, both deputies yelled, then 3 shots are heard. After Massey was mortally wounded, the other deputy said he was going to go get his medical kit to help. Grayson replied, nah, she's done. You can go get it, but that's a headshot. Later, Grayson spoke to a group of law enforcement officers outside. Yeah, I'm good, he said on the body camera footage. This effing bitch is crazy. Massey's son said he wants Grayson locked up behind bars as long as possible. He had no regard for my mom, Malachi said, so we need to have no regard for him. First things first, I agree with the son. And him and the rest of the family, especially him, he was very close to his mother. Like he said, he can't even describe the pain that's in his heart. And he's still in the state of mourning. And like the rest of the family, wondering why this had to happen in the first place. I'm going to tell you why. This guy right here is a bona fide fuck up. He's a hard-headed dude. We know a lot of people like this can't listen. They take these jobs for these prominent positions and they think it feeds their ego and it feeds a lot of what they want to do in life or how they perceive a certain thing. And they think it gives them this freedom to do crazy stuff. He told her, I'll shoot you in the effing face. He initiated the threat before she even did anything. When she said, I'm sorry, and cowered down, it was no need for you to had a gun out anyway. Another thing is this, you didn't give her no commands like, hey, step away. You seen she was scared. She had the pot holders. Even if you had the gun out, you could have said, back away from the pot and then put the gun up. Why'd you pull the gun in the first place? Could have pulled the taser. All police have tasers. That's another story. But I'm going to focus on a couple of things up here. Said he got discharged, right, from the Army. He was a mechanic, a 91B, a wheeled vehicle mechanic, right? So he was a regular mechanic. Was never deployed, so he didn't see no combat. He was a private first class. So what's that, an E3? In the Army, I think that's an E3, right? He was only in there, what, May 2004, less than 2 years. And he got thrown out. Here's another thing that's crazy. Like this guy right here was just trying to find something to grab onto and stick with. Indecisiveness. July 2016, DUI, right? August 2015, another DUI. So from August, so he had 2 DUIs in 1 year. May 2022, you know, because his DUIs was in 2016. You know, they look at those as what? Misdemeanors or whatever. That's why he got that job. Regardless of the DUIs, he got that job. So they gave him a sheriff's office job, even though he had DUIs and they had some time between them. They gave him that job because he applied in 2021 and acknowledged, oh, I acknowledged, yo, I was in a dark place, this and that, this and that. They gave him the job. Now look at this. It said he worked for Auburn. He applied to be an Auburn police officer in 2021, right? He worked there from July 2021 to May 2022. Wasn't even there a year. This guy has a problem settling himself. May 2022, started working for Logan Record Show. Brief letter to a terrible decision to drink and drive. Every time he went somewhere, he had to explain this shit. Now watch this. The part that's cracking me up is this. When he worked for, it said he worked 2020 Record Show. He started working part-time for Pawnee Police in August 2020, right? Followed by the Kincaid and Verdon police departments. 3 police departments, right? Till he finally got a full-time job in May. Now, I want you to think about this. They got him as a part-time police officer. You know how many places need police officers? It's something either about his character, in my opinion, I'm just saying, about his character or something that where you was a police officer from August 2020 all the way to May 2023 before you got full-time employment. Think about that. People get sick, officers get shot, officers get hurt, some people retire, and you didn't get a full-time job. Then another thing, and this is something I want y'all to pay attention to. It said, what the police department was at? He didn't want to live within 10 miles of the work area. So he didn't want to live close to where the crime and all that stuff is, where his job is at. He didn't want to live within them because it was a requirement. So, oh, I'm not doing that. Okay, they let you go. Now, this thing that sums this whole thing up, and I want y'all to pay attention about the mindset of this guy, is this car chase shit. You in a high-speed chase. All officers have training, high-speed pursuit, what to do, what not to do, pit maneuver, what to watch out for. Still in pursuit of someone in a high-speed, high-stress environment at that time, you have to be cognizant of those that are around you that don't know where chase is going. Pedestrians walking, people on bikes, so on and so forth, people driving on the road. What did it say he did? Chasing the guy, speeding. The guy speeding, he right on his ass. Smokey and the Bandit. This guy right here, they say, hey, call off the chase. He cuts the lights off. Fuck you, boss. Keeps going. Kills a damn deer. And that's not funny. He killed a deer at 110 miles an hour, chasing somebody when they already told him to call the chase off. Said he had a problem listening. You know what I'm saying? 63 miles an hour in a 30 mile an hour zone. That right there shows confusion and hard-headedness. He should have never been a cop. I'm going to tell you something. With all this stuff dug up on his background, this is going to be a record lawsuit. You watch. You watch. Because the Tyree Nichols case, which I'm still covering, right, is huge. This is right there up there with it. Because they done dug in his background and got all kind of stuff, and it paints a picture of who he is. A child, a man-child with anger issues and he's just an asshole. He is. You see it. But anyway, man, I wanted to share that with y'all this morning. And I Thanks a lot to Justice the Truth for bringing this to my attention. And just because somebody's a police officer don't mean they're a model citizen. Because you never know. People work within protocol but might have their own, mental makeup of a situation, but they might do something by the book because the book is there presently. This guy's a perfect example. I think this guy had he looked down on certain people that he came in contact with. Meaning, when he met Sonya Massey, he already had an idea of who she was. Whether it was what she was dressed as, how she was acting, he already had in his mind an idea of who she was and what he thought of her. And that's the thing, I told you that before. This is a perfect example of what I told y'all. You never know when a police officer comes to your aid or whatever, and they come across you, how they judge you from what they seen before and they pass, and how a lot of stuff that they went through, they can put it out on you. And this is prime example of that. Like I said, may Sonya Massey rest in peace. This is a good article to talk about. This guy's a legitimate fuck up. He's an idiot. And you see what everybody doing, pushing right away from him. There he is in the corner with the light on him. We'll see how this goes. I'm Stock Market Steve for the Dynamic Reason channel. As always, like, comment, share, and subscribe. Once again, prayers and condolences go out to the Massey family, especially a son, man. Seemed like a quality young man. And I hope they do get the justice they so desperately, are looking for. See you in the next video. Take care.